In a world wherein tension and worry appear to dominate our lives, consider locating a source of knowledge that has been guiding humans for hundreds of years. Offering gear to conquer those very fears, today we're diving deep into the teachings of Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers who transformed his life from a slave to a respected philosopher. His journey and the timeless concepts of Stoicism have the energy to change your attitude and assist you triumph over the fears that preserve you back. Stay with me and could explore 5 lifestyles converting lessons from Epictetus which could free you from the grip of irrational fears and lead you in the direction of an existence of resilience and internal peace. If you recognize what we are doing right here, a simple favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and please do not skip any part of this video. Get geared up to liberate the secrets of a philosophy that has stood the check of time and learn how you could use it on your modern-day struggles. Fear is something all of us experience, and it can frequently experience overwhelming and paralyzing. However, what if I told you that a lot of our fears are absolutely based totally on irrational mind and misconceptions? Epictetus believed that philosophy's important venture is to reply to the soul's cry and to assist us make sense of and unfasten ourselves from our griefs and fears, which means while we take a better look at our fears, we frequently discover that they do not have a stable basis in reality. Epictetus taught that if we examine every one and every of our fears, we will see that there may be often no actual basis for lots of them. As an example, reflect on consideration on the concern of losing your activity. At the surface, this fear might appear sincere. Nobody desires to be unemployed. But whilst you dig deeper, you realize that the real worry might be about how others will understand you if you lose your activity. It is not just about being jobless, it is approximately the worry of social disgrace, of being labeled a failure. That is what Epictetus meant whilst he emphasized rationalizing our fears by know-how that our fear of dropping a job is tied to a deeper fear of social judgment. We are able to start to dismantle it. Epictetus additionally pointed out that lots of our fears are linked to our attachments to external matters. The Stoics believed that we have to focus simplest on what is inside our control and remain detached from what is not. For example, we would fear no longer owning a vehicle because we believe it's crucial to our identity and lifestyle. However, whilst we step again and look at it rationally, we realize that a vehicle is only a means of transportation. There are numerous other ways to get round, which includes public shipping or taxis. Via detaching ourselves from the idea that owning an automobile is a necessity, we can reduce our fear. This concept of distinguishing among what's necessary and what isn't is important. Epictetus teaches us to discern among our real requirements and mere desires. A businessman might think he cannot stay without a driver, or a circle of relatives might feel they can't manipulate without a nanny. These are goals, not requirements. By way of recognizing this, we are able to let move of irrational fears associated with dropping those luxuries. In contemporary global, we are surrounded via immoderate possessions and consumerism, which only fuels our anxieties and fears. We fear now not having the today's gadgets, the trendiest clothes, or the most comfy lifestyle. Epictetus might urge us to reconsider these fears and see them for what they in reality are, irrational attachments to matters that do not define our well-worth or happiness. The Stoics trust that rational fears are those who challenge our survival, like the worry of not having get right of entry to easy water or meals. Those fears are valid and have been shared by human beings throughout records, but many present-day fears, like the worry of not having the modern cell phone, are irrational. By filtering out those irrational fears and focusing most effective on what virtually topics, we will obtain a sense of peace and manipulate. Epictetus additionally cautioned that one manner to conquer fear is through studying philosophy. Philosophy enables us see lifestyles as it absolutely is, empowering our minds to figure among what deserves our interest and what we have to let move of. It prepares us to understand whether our fears are rational or irrational. As an instance, some humans triumph over their worry of heights with the aid of hiking mountains, now not because they need to scare themselves, however, to stand their fear head-on and see it for what it truly is. Always bear in mind, if fear turned into an ocean, you're an individual who can get out of the sea, not a fish who swims endlessly in it. By making sense of your fears, rationalizing them, and distinguishing between what you may and cannot control, you can start to free yourself from the grip of irrational fears and live a greater non-violent pleasant lifestyles. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, and it is a powerful tool for overcoming the fears that hold us lower back. Life is complete of united states and downs, surprises and setbacks, and it is clean to get crushed by the challenges we face. But in keeping with Epictetus, we have to not worry poverty, exile, imprisonment, or maybe fear itself. Rather, we need to awareness most effective on what we will manage and now not supply any emotional attachment to external occasions. One of the essential concepts of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This means expertise that a few matters are within our manage, like our actions and responses, at the same time as others aren't, like the actions of others or unexpected occasions. By means of that specialize in what we are able to manage, we loose ourselves from useless tension and misery. Epictetus taught that most of the things we fear these days are absolutely out of our manipulate. For example, if we lose our activity because of a financial downturn, that's past our control. What we will control is how we respond to that scenario, whether or not we pick to depression or to look for new possibilities. Epictetus himself confronted many trials. The Roman Emperor Domitian, irritated by using the Stoics' influence, exiled Epictetus alongside other philosophers. In place of lamenting his destiny, Epictetus regularly occurring it. He moved to another town and endured his teachings with even more conviction. This is a great example of embracing life's trials. He failed to permit outside events dictate his emotional state or his cause. He understood that the choice to exile him become out of his manipulate, however how he replied turned into absolutely inside his power. Existence's unpredictability is something we all need to cope with. The common expression, life is complete of surprises, highlights this reality. These surprises may be both properly and terrible, and we cannot continually put together for them. So what will we do? Should we live in regular worry and anxiety? Virtually not. Epictetus teaches us that we have to empower ourselves to embrace or as a minimum be given the things we want hadn't passed off. This popularity can cause greatness inside us. In Stoic philosophy, there is an idea called amor fati, because of this love of fate. It encourages us to just accept all of existence's events, each proper and awful, and to embrace them as a part of our adventure. Shall we say you have been running tirelessly on a challenge which you accept as true with has splendid capability. But while you finally launch it, it doesn't get the reception you was hoping for. Regardless of your efforts, the project doesn't be triumphant. In step with Epictetus, you should now not recall yourself a failure. Instead, you should view it as a studying experience. Many wonderful marketers failed more than one instances before finding achievement. They kept going because they embody their trials, gaining knowledge of and developing from each one. While we come across unlucky events that don't fall below our control, we've picks. We can meet them within distinction, accepting them as a part of existence, or we can use them to our benefit and act thus. Only by means of doing this are we able to truly find ourselves attaining greatness. This mindset is set resilience and the expertise that each setback is an possibility for increase. Recollect the tale of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed, I've simply determined 10,000 approaches that may not work." This mindset embodies the Stoic precept of embracing existence's trials. Edison didn't see his numerous tries as disasters, but as essential steps in the direction of his remaining achievement. This resilience and resolution to embrace demanding situations can lead us to attain extremely good things in our daily lives. Embracing existence's trials may suggest facing a hard state of affairs at work, handling private loss, or navigating via a hard phase in a courting. Rather than letting these demanding situations damage us, we will select to peer them as opportunities to strengthen our individual and grow. Through focusing on what we will manipulate, our reactions, our efforts, our attitude, we can rework adversity into a powerful device for personal development. Stoicism teaches us that actual power comes from inside, and by embracing existence's trials, we construct that inner strength. It is about growing an attitude that looks at challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as stepping stones on our journey. This shift in attitude can change how we live our lives, assisting us to remain calm and composed inside the face of adversity. Epictetus teaches us that unremarkable lives are marked by way of the concern of no longer looking successful when trying something new. This indicates that many people hold themselves returned not due to the fact they lack ability, but because they fear failure and judgment. Recollect Epictetus's personal lifestyles. Born into slavery, the odds of him becoming certainly one of history's best philosophers had been tremendously slim. However, he did not allow his beginnings to define him or prevent him from pursuing his goals. What made the distinction was his angle and willingness to embrace demanding situations. He viewed every impediment as an impossibility to develop and analyze. In truth, Stoics accept as true that people have the capability for greatness, but it is our attitudes and actions that determine our success. The vital thing is not to be afraid to attempt new things or to fail, but to embody the mastering and increase that include each enjoy. Think of it this way: if you do not attempt, you'll never recognize what you are able to. The only failure is not trying in any respect. Epictetus reminds us that it's far better to try and fail than to by no means strive and stay in perpetual regret. Whether or not you're thinking about starting a new business, mastering a brand new ability, or pursuing a personal purpose, you must be willing to take risks and face the possibility of failure. That is how we grow and in the end reach our potential. Many of us stay within our comfort zones, avoiding any scenario that might cause us discomfort or failure. But Epictetus would argue that this approach prevents us from achieving our full capacity. He teaches us that we must face our fears and step out of our comfort zones if we want to develop and reach greatness. It's far in those moments of venture that we discover our actual strengths and talents. Remember the tale of the caterpillar and the butterfly. Earlier than a butterfly can soar, it must go through the undertaking of being a caterpillar. In its cocoon, it faces the project of transformation, breaking loose from its comfort region to emerge more potent and greater lovely than earlier than. In an awful lot the same way, we must be willing to embody the demanding situations and hardships of life so as to grow and turn out to be our exceptional selves. To embrace demanding situations means to be willing to step out of your consolation sector and face your fears head-on. It weighs accepting that you cannot constantly succeed, however trusting that every effort, every attempt, is a step forward in your journey toward greatness. Through embracing demanding situations, we increase resilience, determination, and self-belief, qualities which can be critical for success in any endeavor. Epictetus believed that the best failure isn't always in falling down, however in refusing to get again up. He encourages us to embody existence's challenges with courage and resolution, understanding that each obstacle is an possibility to develop stronger and wiser. It is not approximately avoiding failure or falling brief, however approximately gaining knowledge of and growing from each revel in. When you consider that Epictetus spent a lot of his existence in slavery, he understood firsthand the electricity of resilience and resolution. Despite facing countless hardships, he in no way gave up on his quest for information and non-public freedom. His story is a reminder that our situations do not define us, its miles are responses to those situations that form our destiny. Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to choose our responses to existence's challenges. We may not always control what takes place to us, however we will manage how we reply. Through embracing challenges with an open thoughts and a prepared heart, we empower ourselves to overcome adversity and grow more potent within the manner. In conclusion, Epictetus's teachings provide an effective roadmap for overcoming fears and reaching internal peace. By means of rationalizing our fears, distinguishing between what's within our control and what isn't, embracing existence's trials, and accepting challenges with braveness and resolution, we can free ourselves from the grip of irrational fears and stay an existence of resilience and success.